website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get massive progress by making it harder to do the things you want to do. And you can also use the opposite technique of making it a lot easier on yourself to do the things you want to do. And it depends, the situation depends on what you get the most out of. So just stay in here. Quick message, we got a competition on our website right now where you can, a solo competition, there's a jam track and we got different levels so you can enter even if you're a beginner. So please go check that out by clicking the link just below here, download the free program, go sign up on Instagram. And I forgot to say that I'm Claus from guitarmastery.net. When that's settled, I've gotten some really cool results by making it harder on myself to do something. And that's, playing an acoustic with a really terrible action where the strings are very far away from the fretboard and the strings are very high tension. So it's incredibly hard to push down the, and practicing alternate picking or playing chords or whatever it is that you're trying to play. If you pick a guitar that's very hard to play, then returning to your normal guitar, it's going to be, wow, I'm so good now. And that feeling of, let's say you practice for an entire week, you pull out that old acoustic guitar you got when you started playing guitar, and you play that, and you practice everything on that. You do not touch your electric guitar with the perfect action and the soft nickel wound strings or whatever, and then you return to it after a week. You'll get that feeling of having a result. You're suddenly much better than you used to be, and you feel it because you come from that zone of having struggled with your hard guitar. Also, when you're struggling with something, let's say it's a lick or it's a rhythm, it's something that is much harder to play on an acoustic actually, then pull out the acoustic. Instead of pulling back, which we can also do, then you push forward and say, okay, if this is so hard to learn, let me make it even harder. Right? It's the military way, right? If you think it's hard to carry like 100 pounds on your back, try 200 pounds, and then we get back to 100 pounds. It's going to seem easy. So it's the same thing here, that you just increase the load, and then you push forward without hurting yourself, of course, and then decide in advance for how long am I going to practice this on that guitar. And make it a couple of days at least, so you get that shift from the hard guitar to the easy. And I promise you, when your brain has battled or struggled with an even harder challenge, then it's going to really come up with some creative processes in order for it to actually solve the challenge. You can do the same thing, but with the opposite, in the opposite way, by making sure. Because if you practice on an acoustic, chances are your fingers are going to hurt. Chances are your muscles are going to be overworked. So there are minuses attached to that strategy as well. And sometimes you want to focus on having an electric guitar, even though you're only playing acoustic. Having an electric guitar with the softest string you can come across, with the lowest action, even have some noises, some rattling noises because the strings are so close to the fretboard, with, everything should be as easy as you can possibly make it. Because then you can practice longer. You want to tune down, you want to go from normal tuning to tuning down, a half step, like, so the E string is an E flat, so the A string is an A flat, and so on. So the strings get even softer, because that allows you to practice and practice. You don't get those fingertips that are just torn apart, and you're not using very much power. And some people say, well, then if I play a normal guitar and suddenly I'm just weak and I can't do it. That's absolutely not the case. In fact, if you practice, I used to do this. That's why I know how it works. I used to make it so easy on myself to practice, and then you can freely, because it's not that hard anymore, and then you can push to the top. Once you're at the top, you grab a normal guitar with normal tuning and a little bit of action that actually allows you to hear the notes that you're playing instead of them rattling on the fretboard. And then suddenly, it's not that big of a challenge. It's like, well, I can do this because you're actually good at it now. So that's an essential piece of advice. Number one, make it as easy as you possibly can on your electric to practice. And then having that hard guitar as well when you need to kick up the challenge and really tell your brain and body that we're going to conquer this, and I'm not going to pull back now. I'm going to do 1 week of what used to be hard, and I'm going to make it even harder. So those two tools are very important. The worst thing you can do is be somewhere in between, right? That's why we don't get results. We have a guitar that's, relatively easy to play, or you want to go extreme here. You want to be obsessed with practicing and thinking about guitar and visualizing scale shapes, as I often say. And then you want to make sure that you have as easiest instrument you can play and as hard on the other side, and then use the two extremes to your advantage. That was it. Now go subscribe to Instagram. We've got nice inspirational videos and little links that we can send to you each and every single day. Sign up on our website for free jam tracks, live jam tracks played by real musicians, and we got a lot of them, and there's a new one each and every day of the week. So, see you in the next video. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.